Okay, so good morning, dear students of section 2A and 2B. So since we have a internet difficulties here in our school, I have decided to make a video presentation on the introduction of management and organization. So don't you worry, this will be a short discussion so you will not be bored, and I know that you are very busy in other subject, so I will make this one a very short discussion. So I hope you will listen very carefully with the short introduction of management and organization. By the way, I am Lilani M. Olaso, and I am your instructor in this subject. I hope that you will learn something in this discussion. Okay, so chapter 1 is Introduction to Management and Organization. So the 21st century has brought with it a new workplace, one in which everyone must adapt to a rapidly hanging society with constantly shifting demand opportunities. The economy has become global and is driven by innovation and technology. And also, in organizations, have to transform themselves to serve new customers' expectation. Today, economy presents challenging opportunity as well as dramatic uncertainty. So the new economy has become knowledge based and in performance driven. So the theme in the present context is the respect, participation, empowerment, teamwork, and self management. In the light of the above challenge, a new kind of leader is needed to guide business through turbulence, and also the manager in the organization to do the task. So the manager has a vital role in the organization because the manager will manage the organization. And also there must be respect and teamwork, empowerment, and etc. So that is very important in every leader. Also, a manager is someone who coordinates and oversees the work of other people so that organizational goals can be accomplished. It is not about personal achievement, but helping others to uh, to do their job. Managers may also have additional work duties not related to coordinating to work of others. And also, the manager really has many work and has a vital role in the organization because manager will lead every single employees, right? So they will be the one to manage or to lead the employees. And also there is also a supervisor to do to to supervise the employees. So a manager and a supervisor is a different individual. Okay? So now let's proceed to managers again. So managers can be classified by their level in the organization, particularly in traditionally structured organization. So those shape like a pyramid. So first one is we have the first line manager and often called supervisor. So are located on the lowest level of the management. So again, as I said before, supervisor is different from a manager. Okay, so next one is the middle manager. So include all levels of management between the first line level and the top level of the organization. So the middle manager has also a vital role of the in the organization because um, he is in the second line. So everything comes from the supervisor goes to the middle manager up to the top manager. So when we say top manager, it includes managers at or near the top of the organization who are responsible for making organization-wide decision and establishing plans and goals that affect the entire organization. So the top manager, as a top manager, you should also ask all your subordinates why It doesn't mean that you are a leader, you will be the all of the ideas will be coming from you. You need to ask also your subordinates or anything that will help the organization. You need to ask them. There should be a feedbacking, there should be a meeting coming from all of the staff of the organization, and then you need to brainstorm. So if you agree in something, so that will be the manager will decide if it will be good or it will be pushed through or not. Okay, because the top manager will be the one to approve the said meeting. Okay, so now let's proceed to the next slide. So the changing nature of organization and work often requires employees in formerly um, non-managerial job to perform managerial activities. And also the non-managerial job are those where one worked directly on a job and had no one reporting to him. So we have Mary Parker's Foley, so defined management as the art of getting things done through people. Because in management, there is a pyramid which comes from the lowest up to the top. So that is why the art of getting things done through people is really vital in the management. Management involves coordinating and overseeing the work activities of others so that their activities are completed efficiently and effectively. And also, we have coordinating and overseeing the work of others is distinguished a managerial position from a non-managerial one. And also, efficiency is getting the most output from the least amount of inputs in order to minimize resource cost. And also, efficiency is often referred to as doing things right. And the effectiveness is completing activities so that organizational goals are attained and often described as doing the right things. Because when we say efficiency, um, it is very important input and output. Why? Because when we say efficient, there is when you do your task, you do it right? So that is efficiency. So everything you do has a relevance in the workplace. Go. Okay, so let's proceed. No two manager job are exactly alike. All managers perform certain functions, enact the certain roles, and display a set of skills in their job. Next one is management function. So according to the functions, approach manager performs certain activities to efficiently and effectively coordinate the work of others. So in management, there are different functions. So it started with number one, planning, number two, organizing, number three, leading and controlling. When we say planning, it involves defining goals, establishing strategies for achieving those goals, and developing plans to integrate and coordinate activities. So when you are doing something, you should plan for it, especially in the organization. Why? If you don't have concrete plans in the organization, it could affect the outcome of the um, it could affect the outcome of the organization, right? So next one is organizing. So as you finish your plan, so you will establish um, strategies on how to do the job done smoothly. Next one is you need to organize. So you will it involves arranging and structuring work to accomplish the organization's goal. So what in organizing, what will you do? In event management, so I will relate this to event management. So when you uh, when you bid or when you make something like you want something to be done, you need to draft a plan. You need to create event plan. After you create the event plan, you will now involve the arranging or structuring who will do the job. So, for example, the director will be the head um, of the event, and then the purchasing manager will be assigned in purchasing all of the need, like for example, the food, um, the equipments, the tools, and etc. So in organizing, it involves arranging or structuring work to accomplish the organization's goal. Now let's proceed to leading. So when we say leading, it involves working with and through people to accomplish organizational goals. So the manager should have the approach of leading to the people or leading to all the staff of the organization. So the managers should know how to lead. Like for example, um, it is not enough that there is a um, like for example a manager in every department, like for example the purchasing manager, we have the um, the sound manager, the food or the caterer manager. So it is not enough. The the head of the organization, like the director of the event, should follow up everything. So he or she should not leave the managers of the department, of every department. So there should be the one to lead them or to follow up them or to kanang kamustahon ug na okay na ba, nahuman na ba, smooth flowing ba or smooth sailing ba ang mga ang mga for example ang mga gipamalit napalit ba tanan, like for example the food kumpleto ba tanan ang mga ingredients sa food. Sa lights, kumpleto ba tanan ang lights, basig na kuwang ra, dili enough to to highlight or to have a kanang enough nga hatagan og spotlight ang stage. So there is a lot of things to consider. So the manager's approach is very important. He or she should know how to lead the people. Now let's proceed to controlling. So it involves monitoring, comparing, and correcting work performance. So there should be a need of control. So as you lead, the next one of leading is you need to control. Like for example, the purchasing manager has bought a lot of the ingredient, but he forget to add something that is very vital in the cooking, or like for example the garnishing. So he forgot to add the garnishing, because when we say food, all we have to do is to buy all the ingredients, but we did not include the garnishing of the food, so the food will be palatable to the eyes of the client or the guest. That is why controlling is very important, because the manager of the department should control all the staff. He or she should say this is enough, this is not enough, or there's a need to improve, or there's need to correct. So it is very important to have control or controlling in the management function. So since these four management functions are integrated into the activities of managers throughout the workday, they should be viewed as an ongoing process, and they need not the done in the above sequence. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. Actually, we have, so you will know up to, so we have up to 12 slides. So now we're on the seventh slide, so we're almost done. So management roles in the late 1960s, Henry Mertzberg conducted a precise study of managers at work. He concluded that managers perform 10 different roles, so which are highly interrelated. with each other, okay? And also, the management roles refers to the specific categories of managerial behavior because the overall are the 10 specific roles performed by managers which are included in the following three categories. So we have the three management role, which is interpersonal role, which includes figurehead, the leadership, and the liaison activities. The next one is informal roles or the informational roles. So this one includes monitoring, disseminating, and the spokesperson of the activities. So this involves the monitoring of the management and also the disseminating of all the, like for example, if there is a memorandum, um, here in the informational rules, the memorandum should be disseminated accordingly through the protocol from the head of the office to the head of the department and the under of the department or the um, lower management or the staff. And also, if we have spokesperson, he will be the one to to speak for the group or for the ideas or what the majority has approved. So the spokesperson will be the one to um, to speak for the entire department. So that is the role of the spokesperson. Number three is the decisional roles. So this one includes entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and the negotiator. So in every management roles, there is a negotiator. What is the role of negotiator? The negotiator should have a lot of linkages. Why? Because if you have, like for example, in event management, um, if you have this company and you don't have linkages or you don't know how to link or how to deal with clients, how to sell yourself, you will not have a client. That is why you need to negotiate to every client. You know how to deal with the client. You need to know how to negotiate to the client, and also you need to know what are the resources needed in a certain activity or a certain event. You need to know the sources. Or for example, when we say we need there is a birthday celebration and we need a cake, we should know kung kinsa ang atong duulon, kung alangan modong ta sa sound system, kung ang atong gikinahanglan cake. So we will go to the cake shop and look for a birthday cake or whatsoever nga klase sa cake. That is why we need to have a resource allocator, and also there is a entrepreneur. Why? Because in every establishment we need to innovate something new. It is very important that we need to innovate. So that is decisional roles. So although the function approach represent the most useful way to describe the manager's job, Mitchbird's role gave additional insight into manager's work. Some of the 10 roles do not fall clearly into one of the four functions since all managers do some work that is not purely managerial. Why? Because the manager is very dynamic. He can be he can be the waiter, he can help the waiter, he can be the kitchen staff if needed. Why? Because a manager should be dynamic. So that is very important nga. Ang manager is very skillful in the job. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. So, managers need certain skills to perform the challenging duties and the activities associated with being a manager. So, Robert L. Katz found through this research in the early 1970s that managers need three essential skills. So, what are the three essential skills? So, number one, we have technical skill. When we say technical skill, So, the job-specific knowledge and the techniques need in the proficiency perform specific tasks. So, when we say technical, so it involves what? It involves technique and knowledge and the task. When we say human skills, so are the ability to work well with other people individually and in a group. So why do we need human skills? So when you are working in a certain organization, you should know how to deal with people, especially if you are the manager. You should know how to deal with the different attitude of every individual, because human as we are very kanang kuan ba unique. That is why kanang mingon ta nga ganahan jud ko ni ma'am kay kuan jud siya kaayo kanang kamao gyud siya kaayo modagtaw kay naman gud puy ubang mga manager nga kanang naay burag self-centered sila. Kung mo na lang nahuna-hunaan nga idea, dili na sila mangutan na sa ilahang staff or sa ilahang employee nga kanang nabay need i-improve or unsa ba. So mo na nga importante kaayo nga natay human skills kay para makabaw pud ta og unsaon pag-handle sa ato ang mga empleyado, kay lahi-lahi ug klase-klase ang attitude sa kada tao or kada grupo. Okay, let's proceed to conceptual skills. So when we say conceptual, are the ability to think, di ba? So when we say conceptual, di ba, there is a concept involved. So maghuna-huna ta ug unsay maayo. Dili ra porke mao nay na nasugdan, mao na jud na permanente dili. We should be very innovative. Mabitong naghisgot kanina nga entrepreneur. When we say entrepreneur, daghan ko na siyang mga ideas, unique nga mga ideas nga makatabang sa establishment, because dili pwede nga stagnant ratatanan. Umingon ta nga, for example, branding ha, umingon ta nga Coca-Cola company. Sa una ang butanganan sa Coke is murag kuan na to siya, wala pa man mo kaabot adto ako gani, wala pa aho ra tong nakitaan sa mga kanang naikuan sa social media nga sa unang butanganan sa Coke, ang iyang case is kahoy until it innovate to unsa naman katong plastic nga butanganan, katong grabe ayang butanganan, di ba, katong kahon nga plastic. Niabot sa punto nga wala na gyud siya butanganan, nga naman giusa na siya sa usa ka cellophane nga bugat nga pwede na siya maalsa. So grabe ang iyahang mga ideas or mga gi-conceptualize niya unsay mas makatabang sa ilahang business. Nga naman kay kung magpermanente nga kahoy ang sudanan sa case sa Coke or permanente nga katubitaw na ay plastic nga kanang bura og kuan kayo mahalon kayo, malugi gyud sila. Nga naman ug miyon tag kahoy makasustain ka na, or for example kami na lang daan sa among tindahan, ang mga cases gibutang sa gawas mauwanan man na mga lata. So dili gyud siya sustainable. Mao na nga nag innovate ang Coke nga mao to nga kato na lang plastic kay dili dali gabok or malata, di ba? So kung kato na pong plastic mahal sad siya, nga naman mga wa man pud. Mao nang naka-idea sila nga hala dili na lang ta mo gamit adto, mabitaw na uso na ng mga swak to karon mga 1.5, di ba? So that is innovation or that is conceptualize. Daghan kaayo nga gipang conceptualize ang Coca-Cola company. Karon niabot sa punto nga wa na gyud baligya nga Coke, di ba? Wa na baligya nga Coke diri sa Bohol. Galisod na or ga-close na ang mga Coke company sa Bohol kay na burag lacking sila og ingredients. Mo nang mag-conceptualize na pud sila og unsay angay buhaton or there should be a substitute sa katong mga ingredients nga nangawala kay luoy kayo ang ilang mga empleyado. Unsaon na lang pag feed sa mga empleyado sa ilang family. To think dako kayo ang Coca-Cola company nga kanang naay company, dako siya kayo, di ba? So dako kayo og contribution ang Coca-Cola company sa economy. Siya ang top nga kanang brand, di ba? Top brand man ang Coca-Cola. Okay, now let's proceed to next slide. So these skills reflect a broad cross-section of the important managerial activities that are elements of the four management function, and also significant changes in the internal and the external environment have a measurable impact on management and security threats, corporate ethics, scandal, global economic, political uncertainties, and technological advance have had a great impact on the manager's job. So, for example, sa usa ka kumpanya, like for example ato ni siyang ikuan aning political uncertainties, ang usa ka company kung dili siya magkasinabot sa, like for example sa government, like for example ang Coca-Cola wala gihatagag permit sa mayor to operate. So maka-operate ka siya? Dili. Nga naman, wala man siya gihatagag right to operate. Pwede siya nga ipasirado. Okay, and also under corporate ethics and scandals, so, importante kayo nga ma-maintain nato ang ang atong brand, ang kanang nay ma-maintain nato kung dapat for example walay mga bahid bitaw like sa Coca-Cola walay masagol nga something kabantay mo anang sa mga canned goods nga mga factory, di ba na yung mga issues like ay dugo na sagol kay nasamad ang kamot sa kanang taga factory na apil ang dugo or unsa kanang naybubog like nasagol nga something dili kanang nasagol like nasagol nga kung kintahay sa ko kintahay may masagol adto nga something hugaw like unsa na lang kag ni masagol nga ngipon di ba so importante kaayo nga imagine masagol nga ngipon ganahan pa baka mo inom og coke makitaan kayo ni mo picturean mukalat sa social media so mo nang importante kaayo nga ato jung ma-maintain ang ato ang unsa ma-maintain nato ang ato ang brand ang reliability sa atong brand kay ngano man kung dili na nato ma-maintain makaapekto na siya sa atong client nga dili na sila mopalit ngano kay sira naman minga na sila nga dili na ko mopalit ani kay kuan man gud ni grabe tong nag-scandal to kay imagine nasud nga ngipon sa Coca-Cola bottle imagine ra gud pod na ganahan pa ba ka mo inom so dili na mao na siya nga importante kayo nga ma-maintain nato ang integrity sa ato ang brand. And two significant changes facing today's managers are importance of customers to the manager's job and the importance of innovation to the manager's job. It is very important, di ba, as I have discussed earlier, nga importante kaayo nga we should be innovative. Dapat dili ta nga kung ingon og mo namang gyud ni siya among product mo na gyud na permanente tan-awag Nokia wala naka-sustain sa need sa mga tao naasa naman ang Nokia karon nag-close gibaligya ang Nokia okay mo na nga kinahanglan nga we should be innovative so like for example sa Coca-Cola company balik ta sa Coca-Cola kay mao may atong nasugdan giuhaw manggod ko class mao na nga Coca-Cola ang ahong nakuan nahimong example like for example sa Coca-Cola nag-focus ra ba ay sila sa taste sa Coke di ba wala man sila nag-focus adto o silang gibuhat nag-innovate sila og klase-klase nga flavor sa Coke unsa man tong mga klase-klase nga flavor sa Coke so it involves 0 calorie di ba na natoy katong na Coke nga medyo dili kayo isog kay ug mingon kag katong regular nga Coke kay mamaak man jud to siya mamaak sa imuhang kanang sa imuhang o inom nimo grabe gyud to ka isog di ba okay so ang Coke daghan klase-klase na Coke Zero, Coke Light di ba nakatilaw na mo ana kanang Coke Light ug imo nang i-research sa social media o sa Google Chrome nag-type nimo ana nga kanang kinds or kanang naay different taste of Coke manggawas gyud nga na Coke Light, Coke Zero ug unsa pa na nga klase-klase nga klase sa Coke na jud ni daghan pero sa ato sa Pilipinas more loyal man gud ta pero naay kanang mga high-end restaurant na jud na siya Coke Light o Coke Zero ano mga no calorie and etc. Okay, so let's proceed to the next slide. So organizations need manager. So the organization really need a manager. Why? To manage the organization. So mo gyud na siya, sumpay ra gyud na siya, di ba? An organization is a liberate of people to accomplish some specific purpose. Organizations share three common characteristics. Number one is each has distinct purpose. So, each one of us has a distinct purpose. Balik ta sa Coke. So sa usa ka organization na ay chemical engineer ang siyang trabaho. So siya ang magtimpla sa coke. Pero naputay factory worker. Sila tong magpahilo na sa coke, maghilo sa botelya, silang magkuan. Naputay giingon og sa paylaing trabaho sa coke naapod tay giingon og mamalit sa ingredients lain po di ba so na lahi purchasing department unsa pa marketing department. So kada usa kanato we have a distinct purpose sa ka company to prosper the company. So number two is each is composed of people. Syempre, di ba dili man makalihok ang usa ka organization kung walay tao. And each develops some deliberate structures so members can do their work. So, syempre, we need to develop. Dili pwede nga mo gyud na lagi siya dili gyud. So, although these three characteristics are important in defining what is organization is, the concept of an organization is changing. So nausob na kuno siya, the characteristic of new organization of today's includes a flexible work arrangement, employee work teams, open communication system, supplier alliance, organization are become more open, flexible, and responsive to changes. The organization are changing because the world around them had changed and is continuing to change. So this societal, economic, global, and technological change have created an environment in which successful organization must embrace new ways of getting their work done. So ang organization kuno karon is nausob na. Why? Siyempre, kinahanglan man niya nga musabay sa mga people, di ba? Natay gitawag nga Generation X, Generation Y, Baby Boomers, di ba? So, every generation has different attributes. Lahi-lahi po na silang mga pamatasan, pamaagi, like naandan, di ba? So, lahi-lahi og qualities mo na kinahanglan nga si organization should be flexible. Like for now, nagkakuantag pandemic unsa naman nahitabo sa una 8 to 5 working hours na to sa office ra gyud karon dili na di ba because flexible na ang organization. They apply work from home di ba or kanang kung pwede na magtrabaho bisan asa basta lang kay ug mo na imong time mo sujud ka diha di ba so it is now flexible. Okay, next one is the importance of studying management is today's dynamic global environment. Actually, class sa unang katong sa B, HRC sa una, wala kaayo yung mga introduction to management, introduction to organization and management subject. So, kasi gara na operations management ra or kanang nay gamay ra gyud ang management nga touch adto nga kuan course sa una. But now in hospitality management dako kaayo og importance ang management nga mga subject. Why? It will help the student how to manage the organization, not just the organization but her or himself. Kamao dapat ang usa ka empleyado tudluan dapat ug unsaon pag-manage sa iyang kaugalingon nganuman kung dili ka kamao mo manage sa imong kaugalingon dili po ka kamao mo manage sa imong isig ka trabaho or imong mga empleyado di ba mao na nga tudluan gyud ka how to become a role model or how to become effective manager in the near future. Okay, the next slide or the last slide, so the universality, of management. So the management is needed in all types and size of organization, at all organization level and in all organizational work areas throughout the world. So grabe kaayo di ba universality management. So dili basta-basta ni siya because it needs all types. Imagine all types and size of the organization. It could be big or small, a micro and macro. So it has different levels. So the reality of work, all employees of an organization either manage or are managed reward and challenge of being a manager. So, when we say rewards and challenges of being a manager, grabe yun ni kayo. Kaya naman po tayo mga challenges, di ba? So, number one, letter A, sorry. Managers may have difficulty in effectively bleeding the knowledge, skills, ambition, and experiences of a diverse group of employee. So, grabe kayo ang manager, no? Kay dili gyud basta-basta ang mga challenge nga iyang na-encounter because nga naman kinahanglan nga na asiyay knowledge, na si skill, ambition, experience, and dapat diverse siya sa usa ka company or sa usa ka organization. And also, the manager's success typically is dependent on others' work performance. Nga naman, because ang manager siya may mag-manage sa mga tao mo nang he is very dependent on others. Kay kung ang iyang mga tao, dili mo lihok, naday siya'y, unsa man niya ha, naday siya'y makuha na to, wala. So, negative lang ang iyang makuha kung ang iyang mga empleyado iyarap mong gipasagdan. So, bumirang ragi po na niya. Mo nang ang manager should do every different task. So, dapat kuan siya kaayo very dynamic. Dapat makamao siya dari, makamamuluto, kaysa ato lagi, event management man to, atong isigutan kanina, di ba? So, sa event management, dili enough nga kamao ka mo MC, dapat kamao po ka mo makipag-negotiate sa mga empleyado, or sorry, not just the empleyado, dapat kamao po ka makipag-negotiate syempre sa mga kliyente. Kaya importante man kayo mga kliyente, but to be honest, class, para na ho, no, importante sad kayo nga kamauta mo negotiate sa atong mga empleyado. Why? Moabot magud ang punto nga makahuna na sila nindot bitaw no, magtukod po kog event management services, magtukod ka kog ahua. So pasabot mawad-an na kag empleyado, mobalhin na siya sa lain. So kinahanglan og ingon ana, imo siyang tabangan. You could be partners in the near future, so dapat dili nimo pugnan ang imong mga empleyado nga mo unsa man mo improve, di ba? So or mo enhance, or kanang naay mo kuan na siya kung sa kuan pa, kung sa butterfly pa dili permanente nga fetus ra na siya, moabot gyud ang panahon nga mubiya na siya og mulupad or mubiya. Okay, so mo na siya nga kinahanglan ka mauta nga mag-negotiate sa ato ang mga empleyado para dili pod siya nga mahimo nga brag threat sa atong kumpanya. Instead, from threat turns to opportunities. Kay mao ganito, di ba, hong gingon nga makaunahuna na siya magtukod og kanang kaugalingon niyang, di ba, sa una empleyado ra siya karon makaunahuna na siya tukod og iyang kaugalingon. So kung ato ra tong pasagdan, it will turn out to be a threat. Pero kung ato to siyang i-handle into a positive outlook, mahimo siyang opportunities. Why? It could, mo lang itong gingon, it could be a partnership, di ba? So kung unsay wa nimo, for example, kuwang kag plato, manghuwam ka niya. So that is a partnership. Kung maingon ka nga, ay puno naman akong schedule sa akong calendar, dili naman ako makaya, pwede nimo ipasa niya. Mangayo kag commission or unsa, di ba? So from threat turn to opportunity. So mo to siya. Next, managers often receive recognition and status in the organization and in the large community, influence organizational outcome, and receive appropriate compensation. So grabe kaayo ang usa ka manager no, kay kung once gani nga magtarong ang mga empleyado tungod kay kamao mo da ang iyahang manager. So wala man siguro po empleyado nga kanang karaw-karaw kung ang iyang manager ka maugid mo da, di ba? Kay it could, kung dili mo function ang usa ka empleyado, pwede man siya i-kick out sa organization, di ba? Di ba, dear student? Dili man gyud pwedeng, for example, kamo sa sa school, kung magsige mo absent, magsige mo pabujag, dili mo participate, dili mo submit og activities, unsa yung buhaton og bujagon mo? Ala, back to unsa man, re-enroll. So that it. So inga na ka simple. So kinahanglan gyud ta nga ang usa ka manager kanang kamao mo da sa yang tao para maka-receive siya og mga recognition and kanang kuan mahimo siyang dako kayo nga good influence to the organization. Para pod sundugon sa iyang mga empleyado, minga na ang mga empleyado nga magtarong gyud ko kay si ma'am nindot kaayo ang iyang pagdala mo nang di ko gusto nga ma-disappoint si ma'am sa among performance. Okay. Knowing that their efforts, skills, and abilities are needed by the organization gives many managers great satisfaction. So, grabe kayo ang mga empleyado dako gyud siya contribution sa organization. And also, the managers of today must be integrate management skills with new approaches that emphasize the human touch, enhance flexibility, and involve employees. So that's the end of my discussion on the introduction of the organization and management. So I hope you learned something from the short discussion. And that's all, and God bless.